what I just kind of like just hit me again, like when I told y'all the Superman story about my grandson earlier, it made me think about the old Superman. You know, I'm talking about that Christopher Reeve Superman. You know what I mean? Like I know there's other Supermans before Christopher Reeve, stuff like that. You know, like George Reeves and Kurt Allen, but you know, who rocked that S symbol. You know what I'm saying? But the one that had the most impact, well, I would say the most impact on me was Christopher Reeves. You know what I'm saying? He was a game changer as Superman. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why he was a game changer because for two reasons. All right. It was the first time that you seen Superman in color, like that vivid blue, that you know what I mean, that voracious red, you know what I'm saying? That super dope yellow popped off your color TV set. Because before Christopher Reeves, all the other Supermans were in black and white. So you actually got to see Superman in his uniform, and it was vividly popping off that flow model TV. How many of y'all remember flow model TV? So that was the first time, like, you know what I'm saying? That was the first time like seeing Superman in color. And then another dope thing I thought about is the reason why I kind of resonate with this with the Christopher Reeve Superman is because, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the first one to actually give up his superpower. You know what I'm saying? He gave up his superpowers to be with Lois Lane. He wanted to experience Lois Lane as a human being, not as a son of Krypton. So he gave up his superpower. See, and it was all cool. It was all cool when he gave up his superpowers for love until he got into that fight with the dude in the little beat down diner. You know what I mean? The little bust up diner he was in. You know, it was a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Until he experienced the first time getting his ass whooped. See, he thought it was a good idea to give up his superpowers to the first time he actually felt pain. Because you gotta remember, he never felt pain before. See, he thought it was a good idea to give up his superpowers until when he got punched in his mug and he saw his own blood in his hand. He ain't never seen his blood before until he decided to share love inside that human experience. See, he thought it was a good idea to give him his superpowers until he was powerless. He had no power. He had no physical power. So he felt completely powerless. So being Clark, being just regular old Clark, you know, country boy Clark, it was good until it wasn't good. See, Kal-El, aka Clark Kent, aka Superman, he quickly discovered it was easier being super than average. As a matter of fact, after Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, took that ass whooping in that diner, he went on an adventure. Like, he went back to the little Kryptonian homeworld he created on Earth. But the only difference is when he went back there, he couldn't fly there like Superman. He had to go there inside of a human being experience because he didn't have his superpowers, couldn't fly. So he had to experience getting back to his version of Krypton on Earth. He had to walk. And where he had built Kryptonian at on Earth, it was like in Antarctica some damn well. So he had to feel the cold on his body. He had to feel the stress on his body from walking. He had to feel fear from hitchhiking with ice road truckers, because that's the only thing going to Antarctica is ice road truckers. So he had to feel the fear of hitchhiking. And that path for him to get back to that Kryptonian base that he created wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And I could guarantee this, the whole time he walking, trying to get back there, he was like, man, I guarantee he was thinking it was a hell of a lot easier being Superman, because at being average, Clark Kent sucked. See, being average for Kal-El was so bad that he ran away from it. He figured out it was a whole lot easier being super than pretending to be average. And inside this journey, you gonna have to, let me just say this, you must decide, do you want to be super or do you want to be average pretending to be super? And it's a daily contradiction that we all face inside this macro meetup experience. I want to lose weight, but I don't want to eat the same thing. I want to get off these blood pressure medications, but I don't want to miss hanging out with my friends during happy hour. I want to have more energy in the morning, but I can't stop binge watching American Nightmare on Netflix. I want to stop taking diabetes medication, but I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt my nana's feelings by eating her pumpkin pie with that homemade whipped cream she do. I won't, but I won't. But I won't, but. And like I told y'all last week, you got to change for what you say you want, or you got to change what you say you want. But either way, they both require change. Because when your I wanna is in direct conflict with your actions, it's a lot easier pretending you can change than actually changing. And that's the dysfunction. Like, that's a dysfunction that you're operating inside of, because it's a fear-based dysfunction. And it's most of us, and when most of us become distracted from what we want, It's because we're building up a fear. We built in fear into that operating system. Now, if you think I'm joking about this, I remember I had a business coach who told me, he said, bro, send me your 5-year revenue outlook. I was like, what? He said, I'm not asking you for a 5-year business plan. I just want you to tell me what you think you're going to make over the next 5 years, every year. I was like, all right, cool. I'll tell you what I'm going to make. All right, ain't no problem. I got this. So I sent him my numbers. And he's like, bro, ain't none of this adding up. And I'm looking at him like, huh? What you talking about ain't adding up? I said, how the hell, you know what I mean? Why would it add up? You know what I mean? It's not supposed to add up. I'm taking a wild guess at what I think I'm going to make. He tells me in the calmest voice I've ever heard him use with me. It's so calm. He simply said, and that's the problem. These numbers are based on you not changing a thing. These numbers tell me that you decided that you have decided to stop learning right now. These numbers are telling me that you have decided to stop marketing right now. Your numbers are telling me that you decided that you didn't want to progress anymore. And one of the first things that he taught me was, if a business isn't growing, it's slowly dying. And my revenue projections, it reeked of fear. See, I built in the fear into my business plan. I built it in simply because I didn't consider that I would improve, that I would get better. But my OS was wired in a fear-based system. And for some of us, that fear is built in on default. It's the default mode. Because every time you try something and it doesn't work right away, stop doing it. Every time you start tracking your food and then stop because you lost a couple of pounds, you stop tracking. Every time you meet your macro and then lose a few pounds, you stop because you figured out how much work it takes for you to lose those 3 pounds. And that's why you keep starting to stop it, starting to stop it. It's being fearful of the work, being fearful of the work is being fearful of your own success. And you got to do the work. You got to do the work. You got to do the work so you can see your success. So my question for you is simply this: when are you going to use that same energy to upgrade your superpower instead of using it to upgrade your fear? Keep telling you, man, energy is energy. Being extraordinary only seems hard because it requires more effort than being average. But energy is energy. You can use that energy to upgrade your OS. You can use that energy to refocus on what you're actually doing. You can use that energy to become super. Because just like Superman, it's a whole hell of a lot easier being super at what you're doing than being average. Can you dig it? Can you dig it?